Hi, we're WISER Systems. I'm Seth Hollar, CEO, and today
Andy Kerfonta, Director of Engineering.
we're at Fabtech 2025 at the Metal Fabricators Trade Show in Chicago. And here we're going to talk about what our system does in this context, but also show a little bit of the analytics side of things. So, Andy, in talking to people as they pass by and are interested in WISER Systems, what are some things that come to your mind?
Sure, we have a lot of people that ask, what data do I get and what do I do with it? And so the basic use of our system is track and find. You get the data in the app and you find stuff. But beyond that, what a lot of places want to do, especially as kind of a second phase, is actually take the raw data and use it for something. So we can send it to a database, or we have an API. A lot of people use a database because you get to log all of your history data, and then you have it there to use later.
Okay, if I have it right, kind of the phase one is where's my stuff? I need to go and find it. So it could be like, I have this part, I have no idea where it is. I'm going to spend hours looking for it. But if you have WISER installed, you can find it right away and move forward with your fabrication. Or if you have some sort of tooling that you use as part of the fabrication process, you might have to order 10 or 20 of those. If you can't find them, then you have to either order more or spend time looking for it. And again, basic use case, where is it? I need to go and find it. But now what you're talking about is a little bit different, right?
Right. So once you have finished that first phase, track and find, and you have all this data, you have it saved on your server in your SQL database, you could take it and mine it for efficiency. So behind us here, we have some examples. So you could take it and make a heat map. And this just shows where your parts have been over time, where they congregate. So this might be like a shipping area, this little dot here. Sort of the next phase beyond that is taking it and seeing where does my work, where do my parts stay that maybe is not correct. So here we have a waterfall chart. And what this is kind of showing is each stage in our manufacturing facility, which would be a zone in WISER, and it shows on aggregate how long the parts stay in each one. And you can really tell quickly if this is right. So you look at this and you might go, oh, it should never stay in staging for 15 hours, but it is. That tells you right away, we might be losing parts there. And maybe this one is too short. So it shows you really, really quick, is your process running smoothly?
Okay, so here are two examples, but not the only examples. So it'd be a heat map of where parts or material or equipment are. So if you were to track tooling, for example, you could see where your tooling is sitting most of the time. And maybe that's where you intended it to sit most of the time, or maybe it's not. And if it's not, maybe you can take action so that it sits where it's supposed to most of the time. That's one example. And for the waterfall chart, for example, you see something sitting initially in the staging. Why is it sitting in staging so long? Generally, people look at this and ask the question of, why is this taking so long? And waterfall charts are great ways to show that particular data. This, by the way, is what you can do with the WISER system. Sure, you can create waterfall charts that are just based on software inputs, but the reality of getting that real-time data and knowing exactly where it is, it could be sitting at staging, but maybe the first 12 hours of it, nothing is happening. And you don't necessarily get that from a simple software manual input, but you do get that when it's a real-time location. Andy, are there any other analytical charts or tools that people ask about here at Fabtech that can be displayed this way?
Oh, sure. There's tons of options. So spaghetti diagram is a common one.
Right.
And that just shows you kind of like the waterfall, but shows you all the tracks where your things go. So a sort of common use is to look at where your parts go on your floor, and you might see they're always taking a detour between a couple stages, and that's why that's showing long there. And they shouldn't, but for whatever reason it's happening. Maybe things get jammed up there. Maybe you got a traffic jam. So it can really quickly show problems. But there's all sorts of other charts and graphs you can make with lots of different tools, Power BI, Tableau, or even custom ones.
Okay, so you hit upon something interesting, right? All of it's interesting, but you mentioned Power BI and Tableau, and maybe even Python. What services do we provide to customers so that they can get this type of visualization?
Sure. So on the face of it, the data is yours. If you have WISER, you've got the data. We don't charge you extra to send it to a database. So if you have somebody in-house, that's great. They can use Power BI. If you need help, WISER can come and use Power BI or Tableau or Python and make a custom visualization or custom analytics, or even a custom tie-in to your system. Could be an ERP, could be whatever, and we can do it for you based on your input.
I think we're out of time here, but if you have more questions or want to reach out, please go to our website, click on the contact us form or simply email us, and we'd be happy to have more of a conversation. We're here right now at Fabtech 2025. We'll be there next year, but if you want to reach us anytime, please go ahead and go to our website. Any last thoughts you want to add there, Andy?
I think we covered it. It's been a good show.
Sounds good. Thank you, everyone, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.